Mark Griffiths, how are we doing?
All good, cheers mate, all good. So we've been helping kids understand the opportunities available overseas, so whether they want to go over for a pro football experience, whether they want to go over to combine football with their education at middle school, high school, university level. Just making sure they're aware of what's available to them. You know, been speaking to a lot of players, a lot of them aren't quite getting the college offers that they want to here, so they understand that, you know, maybe going overseas, playing in England, playing in Europe might be really beneficial for them to go and get that additional experience to build up the CV and impress the coaches and come back and get a good scholarship.
Mr. Jack Barmby, how are we doing?
How you doing? You alright?
Very good, very good. Happy to be back in Arizona?
Yeah, it's a bit better weather than England right now, isn't it? So it's, yeah, it's not terrible. The MTA Sports Group is a good opportunity for the kids in terms of getting different experiences. Just like me, obviously I was playing professionally, but you know, we've partnered with some very good schools, very good international programs. We've been to all of them ourselves. We've handpicked them to make sure the kids are getting the right footballing experience and then also education experience, which is obviously important. So yeah, we've done all that, and then it's nice to be out here to obviously to tell everyone what we're doing. But yeah, like I said, the kids can go over to England. Obviously we've seen the gap years are quite popular. So yeah, they can go over there, get new experiences, and it's not only that, it's, you know, it helps you grow up as a person, as a player, as a person, educational wise. You've got to look after yourself, you know, and even if you just did 6 months, you'll be like a different person after 6 months. You know, you've got to be able to learn how to sleep right, eat right, train, and then recover, just like any professional would do. Whilst obviously, again, at the same time, getting your education, which is important.
Finish.
So the first advice the coaches said was you got to be proactive. You know, you can't just be sat around, you know, expecting coaches to come to you. It doesn't always happen that way. Of course, if you're a really talented player and you showcase at a tournament like this, you've got every opportunity of a coach coming up to you. But if not, it's hard to tell when that opportunity is going to come unless you're being proactive. And one of the things they said to us is, when you're emailing them, don't just email them, say, hey coach, I'm interested in your college. Give them much more information. So they want more information on your position, what team you play for, obviously your enrolment year, your number, obviously your schedule as well. So if they're coming to a tournament like this, they're not just guessing where you're playing, who you're playing against. They can go straight to your pitch, know straight away who you're playing for, exactly what your number is, and they can take notes and understand if you're going to be a good fit for their programme or not. So that's the advice the coaches have told us, and that's the advice they're passing on to a lot of players as well.
Yeah, I think like Mark said, we've spoke to a lot of college coaches this trip. I obviously didn't go the college route, but having worked for this company for 6 months, obviously learned a hell of a lot about it. And living out here, obviously the college game in America is huge. But yeah, I mean, every college coach we've spoken to, they find you more of an attractive prospect if you obviously sort of, like you said before, get out your comfort zone, come and play some football, soccer in Europe. And like I said, even if it is just a 6 month stint, whatever it may be, your game will improve 100%. There's no doubt about that. So then you'll be able to obviously put that on your CV, and straight away, if you say you've got international experience playing in Europe, in my opinion, it can only benefit you.
So yeah, we've noticed the potential gap year opportunity is could be a really popular one. So it's just about making sure the players understand that it actually is achievable for them to go to England or Europe and actually do that. And we'll look after them, make sure we find the best placement possible for them. And yeah, make sure we look after them and make sure if they do want to come back out here, we'll help them get the best scholarship possible as well. Building up your CV, it's getting that experience as well of playing in a different culture, a different environment. So a lot of coaches have really liked the idea of players going back. We're from England, and English football is a very physical game. So if you can go back, to England or Europe and play somewhere like that in an extremely competitive environment, a development academy with top coaching, top facilities. Develop your football even further for whether you go for a few weeks or a full year before you then come back into the university system. You're going to go back and you're going to come back a much better player than you were before you left, that's for sure. Much more educated player, much more independent player as well, which coaches like. They don't want players who need the mum with them all the time and have to look after them. They want players who look after themselves, work hard, and happy to put themselves in that environment and be the best possible player.
Obviously this place, especially this time of year, it's paradise. Let's be honest, it's great weather, great pitches, great environment, but obviously just getting out of that comfort zone and trying something new is very beneficial for you as a person, to help you develop as a person, knowing how the world works in different ways, different countries. And then obviously the football in England, it's our biggest sport obviously, so you'll play football in a different way, you'll learn new skills, and you'll make new friends. So yeah, I can only see beneficial sides to sort of getting out of your comfort zone, in my opinion. Yeah, I think it's obviously important that it's never easy to send a kid overseas. Obviously I was a little bit older, I was 21, and my mum still didn't want me to go, and I was a lot older than some of these kids. So we understand that. We want to obviously look after the players as best we can. So me on the football side of it, obviously looking at different games, highlight videos, sending even if it's gym sessions, if they're not really doing much for maybe a week. But to be honest, the kids are quite busy all week anyway, doing a lot of training. But when it comes down to games, little tips and pointers, it's just under the eyes and ears instead of the coaches that they're listening to every day, which are giving them great advice anyway. But if they just wanted a different pairs of eyes and ears, we're always here to help them. We obviously try and get down and watch the games and give them some good support. So yeah, it's good. It's good to see these kids thriving in a different environment. In the Man United Academy for quite a while, turned professional there, went on to Leicester City, and then went on loan to a few teams in England, played in the football leagues back then, and I just got the chance to come out to America. Never really thought about playing abroad, to be honest with you. It never really crossed my mind, and then got the call to come, and I just jumped at it. Played for the Portland Timbers in the MLS for 3 years, which was a really good experience. Then joined San Antonio FC in Texas, stayed there for a year. Was again really good experience, different state, different sort of culture, and then obviously came to the Horizon for a year. So yeah, that's it in short. But yeah, I loved every part of it. I think you've got to enjoy the journey. There's always going to be ups and downs. There's always going to be times where you might not be playing as well as you probably thought you could be playing. Then there's going to be times where you're going to be playing extremely well. I think it's taking the highs and lows pretty similar. not getting too low, not getting too high, and enjoying the journey. Yeah, and I think you'll go a long way if you can keep sort of level-headed. I think it's a really good way to be in. And yeah, like I said, just enjoy it.
Thanks for that, Jack. What's the plan for the rest of the trip?
Well, the rest of the trip I'm gonna probably burn more, and then yeah, we're off to Florida on Tuesday. Got a couple of meetings there, so yeah, should be good.